All right, welcome back, everybody. I am here with my Paladin, Priest, and Rogue review. So let's get right into Paladin. All right, first one, Cavalry Horn. 5 mana for a 3/2 weapon. That sucks. Death Rattle. Some of the lowest cost minion in your hand. You really need something really big that you don't want to play or that you couldn't have played the turn before to get this out. And it's Arena, which means you're probably going to have a lot of cheap stuff in your hand to begin with. Yeah, card's bad. 1-star card. No question. Let's keep going. Hold the Bridge. See? Give minion +2/+1 and like Divine Shield. It gains lifesteal until the end of the turn. I compare this directly to Seal of Champions. I would rather have a Seal of Champions over this. Seal of Champions is like a low 4, so this is about a high 3. So the +2/+1 Divine Shield, that's fine for a buff. The lifesteal situationally is going to be helpful. Situationally is going to be useless. So like it's a Paladin buff. You can figure out just how good the Paladin buffs are from there. Vitality Surge. 2 mana, draw a minion, restore health to your hero equal to its cost. 2 mana to cycle is bad. It's Arena, so it's very likely the health is only going to be a pittance. So yeah, overall, bad card. Alright, next one is, crap. Templar Captain. Alright. So, I said Bloodseeker was more oppressive. This is more powerful. And there's a difference. Like, an oppressive card means you win the game before your opponent has any chance to play their powerful cards. I think a Bloodseeker, I think a Bloodseeker, if you're, how would I describe it? I think Abyssal Enforcer is like the example of like the most powerful card you can have, because that's a card that can completely flip the board by itself, give you a body, deal face damage, just like completely change the game. A Bloodseeker in the mid game is not going to be able to do that just because of its limit. Its power is when you get it on 2 and it's able to snowball. So that's why it's oppressive. So here, a related card is here, the Stormpike Defender. So basically, 8 mana, 8/8 rush. That's already like by itself an 80-ish card. After this attacks a minion, summon a 5/5 defender with taunt. So what this means is compare this to Marsh Hydra. Marsh Hydra was a 7 mana 7/7 rush. After it attacks a minion, get an 8 drop in your hand. This is 8 mana 8/8, basically rush, basically the same thing. And you get a 0 mana 5/5 taunt immediately on the board. That's more powerful than a random 8 drop, and like they're some pretty damn good 8 drops. So like overall, like it's a better Marsh Hydra. And Marsh Hydra is like probably top 10 most powerful Druid cards ever printed. It's like one of those cards where it was just slow enough that for its power, it was not really oppressive. This, it's one of those things, and you can it completely wins the game. It's a card. It shouldn't be an Arena. I said before, it's kind of like the Coilfang Warlord for Demon Hunter, one of the more broken cards ever printed. It's as powerful as a card you're going to get. I'm fine-ish if this just gets nerfed and not banned because it's not oppressive, but it really should be. It really should be banned. All right. Dun Boulder Bridge. After you summon a minion, give it +2/+2. Lasts for 3 turns. So let's say this is the absolute worst scenario. You play this on turn 6 and you play a hero power. You get a 3/3. On turn 8, you play a hero power. That's it. You get another 3/3. Turn 10, you play a hero power. So that's 10 mana for 9/9 worth of stats. That's the absolute worst. That's if you have 3 cards in a row that do not summon minions, do not impact minions. You cannot, no minions you can play, no minions you can summon. So like, and again, that's bad, but again, that's worst case. So realistically, you play this on like turn 7 or turn 8, and you play it with something like, you play this on turn 8 with, let's say, Grim Necromancer, and you immediately get a +6/+6 out of this, then you've got 2 more turns of that. And that is really powerful, and that is why I've got it rated as a 3-star card. I think power-wise, it can be 5, but you really do have to set up the right situations for this, and it can be a little slow. Those are the only things holding it back. Protect the innocent. Let's see, is here. A 5/5 defender with taunt by itself is okay. If your hero was healed this turn from another, that's probably not going to happen. I'm ignoring that. So a 5/5 taunt is pretty much a 3-star card. This itself is a 3-star card. Stonehearth Vindicator. Draw a spell. It costs 3 or less. It costs 0 this turn. 3 mana, 3/1. Draw a spell. That's fine. Maybe you get to play the spell. Like, there is the chance that it just does whiff if you don't have a spell that costs 3 or less. But I do think overall... Why is this related? I think Protect the Innocent... Protect the Innocent has that. I don't get why this has a stone... I'm going to rewatch that. Because for some reason, I swore this had the Stonehearth Defender here for this. I'm not sure. Okay, anyways, sometimes you're just not going to be able to draw something, which sucks. But I think for the most part, a 3-drop that's aggressively statted that draws something. There was a Grave Robber, which was like a 3 mana 3/1 that gave you a random death rattle, and that was perfectly playable. So this one, you get a 3 mana a spell that you picked, so something you like. So again, 3-star card. Brasswing, 6 stars. Where's Brasswing? All right. End of your turn, deal 2 damage to all enemies. Honorable kill. Restore 4 health to your hero. So you just compare this to Baron Geddon. Baron Geddon is already a powerful card, and this is a Baron Geddon that only hits your opponents, and sometimes heals, and is an epic. So yeah, like, absolutely insane card, 6-star card. That it doesn't have taunt means like you can't actually deal with it. But yeah, ultimately just like a really, really, really powerful card. I think like this is like the borderline of where, okay, this is a little too powerful for the set. But again, yeah, just a great card. And then finally here, Sidon the Scarlet. The ability for this to pop off is absolutely insane. Then that's why I value this as a 4-star card. If you get this with a Bannerman, if you get this with like any of your buffs, this card can just completely win games on its own. Like let me see. What I don't know is if you have something like a Dark Iron Dwarf and you buff it, does that count as gaining health or attack? I think it does. Anyways, that's it, Paladin. You can see just a really powerful set. So yeah, I think the buffs are going to be pretty easy to get for this, so 4 stars overall. All right, grab a little bit of tea, drink a little bit of tea here for Priest. All right, and we start off with Luminous Geode. Seems like a powerful effect, but we've seen this effect before. We've seen this effect in Lightsteed before. So we know that it's not really insane. It's not really great. So there are things with this, with the Luminous Geode. Like, it'll come up, but Bless with this would be absolutely insane. But anyways, I think it's one of those things where you need a Nova, you need something to go along with this. So I don't think you're going to reliably get this. All right, what's the next card here? Next card is Spirit Guide. So again, 5 mana, 5/5 taunt. That's really good. Death Rattle. Draw a holy spell and a shadow spell. That's really good. I'm not sure if you're going to have both. So maybe it's only sometimes draw 1. Sometimes it's draw 2. Sometimes it's draw 0. I think it's going to be unlikely it's going to be draw 0. But yeah, really good card. 4-star card. I might be undervaluing this. All right. What have we got next here? Next one here we've got is Deliverance here. All right, so 1 second. So we got Deliverance here. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Honorable copy. Summon a 3/3 copy of it. So you can tell by this card that it is a really, really, really powerful card, and it's going to make some people squeal when they get this card played against them. So with Deliverance, Again, so you can get a ton off of this. Like, I think it's worse than Serpent Transporter in a sense. I think Serpent Transporter is like a lot more reliable because you don't always get that. I don't think you're always going to be able to kill with this. You're not always going to be able to get damage off. It reduces your efficiency. And that's the only thing that's holding it back. So again, it's still a 5-star card just because of its power. So I do think it's a great card. Old people will get that reference. All right. Next one here. We've got Undying Disciple here. Undying Disciple. So it's a 3/7 taunt. That's mediocre for 6, but Death Rattle. Deal damage equal to this minion's attack to all enemy minions. That's an AoE Death Rattle. Like, that's stupidly powerful. There was a 3/7 Kobold that had like it was like 3/7 taunt for 7 mana, deal 3 damage to everything, and that was pickable. This is a really powerful card. This is to me a 4-star card. Again, this might be another one where I'm underrating it, but I think this is just like incredibly. This is a great card for just blocking out enemy aggro. Bless. I think I'm going to be honest. I rated this card. I was not that excited about this card. This one might be one I'm going to be massively wrong on, and I'm going to admit it. Right now, I have it as a 2-star card, and the reason I have it as a 2-star card is that there is a lot of times where you have a minion that is so like 2 mana, heal give something +2/+2. That is okay, but it's not great. There are going to be times where you have injured minions. There are going to be times when you have minions with higher attack than health. And for Bless, I don't know in those cases if it's going to be that great. Now, where I'm probably wrong is underestimating the number of times where you're a priest and you can massively buff things. Like there's a card that massively buffs something up. There was the I forget the card, the neutral 3 mana 2/4 that gave you 2 plates that give your minion +2 health. So with those and with this is going to be, I mean, there is a lot of potential for this, and I do think I'm underrating it, and it probably should be a 3-star card. I'm not going to change it. I'll just say, if it fails, I'll be, yeah, I got it. But this is the one where I'm like, I'm rating it low, but I know I'm probably wrong on it. Stormpike Aid Station. At the end of your turn, give your minions +3 health, last 3 turns. This effect can't stack. So it's similar to the Demon Hunter card where you want to play this in the mid game so you can buff everything up, and then from that buff you can snowball. So your priest, you like giving minions plus health. Maybe you're not like the best on board class, but it's still good, and it still impacts trades, it impacts honorable kills, it impacts a lot of things. So I do think that this is a good card. I do think that this is a 3-star card, even if a low one. Shadow Devour. Shadow Devour here. Let me see. This is another one where there's a chance I'm underrating this massively. So I only have this as 3 stars. Choose a minion. It steals 1 health from all other minions. So all other minions lose 1 health permanently, and one of your minions gets super powerful. So there are cases where you can take Shadow Devour and Bless. You can wipe a board full of minions. You can get like +10 health. You can put Bless, and then you get 12 attack onto a minion, and you go face. So yeah, that is entirely possible. Like there's cases where it's a whirlwind effect, it impacts your board, and you get like 1 minion that's really powerful. So that can happen. I don't know how reliable that is, but I think it's only going to be. I can't be that high on it. I'm just not that high. I can't really explain why. I don't think. I think a lot of the time it's going to be a lot more awkward than you would imagine. Similarly to Gifted Nara. Restore 3 health to all characters. If any are still damaged, draw a card. This includes the heroes. So it's a 1 mana cycle. That's really good. The health restore, that's good. Overall, this card is good. It's a 3-star card. As I said, it's limited by what it can do. It's just healing plus drawing, which fine. I might be undervaluing the cycle. I know I value the cycle a lot higher for Shaman later on. But yeah, I think this will be a good card. And finally, the hero here, Najak Hexen. So it's a 4-mana mind control, right? But you need to be able to have the 1/4 live, or you need to have the 1/4 get like transformed or removed or something like that, or you just play this on its own. So yeah, it's a lot worse than mind control. That's why I only have it as 3 stars, but I think it is a good card overall. I think it's a card you'll be happy to see as a legendary. All right. Next one here, we've got Rogue. Give me 1 second here. All right. Cards here. Double Agent. Battlecry, if you're holding a card from another class, summon a copy of this. So, as a long-time WoW player, like, I love the lore of this card. I love Double Agent, that he finally gets his due in Hearthstone. But it's not going to work. You have to hold a card from another class. Like, that's not really reliable in Arena. It's just going to be a 3/3 most of the time, and that's a 2-star card. Sorry. All right. Next one is Reconnaissance. Hopefully you have this. All right. Discover a Death Rattle minion from another class. It costs 2 less. So remember these Studies cards. These Studies cards were 1-mana cards that gave you something, and you paid 0 mana to discover it. So this is the same thing. You pay 0 mana to discover it. And Death Rattles from other classes, that's pretty powerful. Like, there are a lot of strong Death Rattles. Tyrion is always going to be in the game. Like, if you go over here, like, we'll just take a look. Arena. Okay, let's look. Arena, class cards. No, choose one. Death Rattle. All right, so this is stuff that's in Arena. Like Coilfang Warlord, as I said, insane card. Dreadlord, Tyrion, Cookie. Cookie is like really powerful. Oh, what is this? Yeah, Cookie Shaman here. Even Conscriptor, that's good. Hullbreaker, you draw 2 cards, that's good. That's a really good card. Shade Quill is fine. Any of the Prime cards, those are good. There are a lot of good Death Rattle cards from other classes. Cursed Vagrant is unfortunately a rogue card. You don't get to get that one. Obsidian Statue, just so many good ones that you can get. And you get a discount on it. So yeah, 4-star card. This is about the level of Studies cards. Really, really good. Cold Tooth Yeti. Now, hear me out. Turn 2, you play a coin, and you get a 4/5 on turn 2. Think of how insane that is. Like, the neutral only gives you a 3/3 on turn 2. And this gives you a 4/5. Okay. All right. It's a Yeti. It's a reference to a Yeti. The combo is pretty easy to get off. It's like the high end of a 3-star card. It's a high end 3-star card. So yeah, because the combo is going to go off, and it's similar to Dark Moon Statue, where it goes off enough that the 4/5 does matter. All right, let's see. What's the next one we got here? We have got Stonefall Graveyard. Your Death Rattles trigger twice, last 3 turns. Death Rattles are generally worth 1 mana. Death Rattles triggering twice is not worth 3 mana. You need to have multiple Death Rattles on the board ready to trigger for this to go off. That's not going to happen. That's a 0-star card. Contraband Stash. Similar thing here. Replay 5 cards from other classes that you've played this game. Okay, really depends on what you can get. I think the majority of the time you're not going to have enough get cards from other class cards to justify this. You need really 2 or 3 with this. So yeah, I think ultimately it's a 1-star card. I just don't see it working. Next one, Wild Paw Null. Similar. Like, I'm down on being able to get a lot of cards from other classes. So I value this as a 5-mana 4/5 rush. That's playable. That's on curve. That's a 2-star card. Maybe if you can get it down, if you get a lot of good cards from other classes, then this goes up a lot. But again, I don't see that happening. I'm being conservative on that. Forsaken Lieutenant. After you play a Death Rattle minion, become a 2/2 copy of it with Rush. So basically, you play this until you get a Death Rattle. So you hold this until you get a Death Rattle, and then you get to trigger the Death Rattle immediately. And that is not really worth it. for a 2-drop. I mean, there's cute things you can do with it. There's some powerful death rattles you can do with it. I'm not sold on it. I think it's an average card, a 2-star card. Okay, Lobotomizer. Honorable kill will get a copy of the top card of your opponent's deck. It's not going to be that hard to honorable kill, so it's 2 mana. You get to buff your weapon up instead of hero powering. You get to give it like +1. You get to draw a card. I mean, that's fine. Maybe so yeah, ultimately, what's that? That's a 3-star card. Like, I know it's not going to work all that well in Constructed, but in Arena, you will occasionally get 2 cards off it, and that will be good. And then the last card that we have got here, Seraphine Fleet Runner. So I compare her to 2 cards. I compare her to Lady Prester. I compare her to Shadow Council. It's kind of like a Shadow Council because you get a lot of stuff that costs a lot less. It's like Lady Prester because now you get a lot of, like, even mediocre cards that cost 3 become really, really powerful when they cost 1. The issue is if you run out of things to play. And that's the problem. Like, the dragons are kind of better because dragons are big and dragons can fill up your hand. But you might just get a bunch of low cost stuff, which, sure, you can vomit out, you can tempo out, but I'm not certain how good that's going to be. I think it's a 5-star card. I would pick it over Prester because it's a better card on curve. But there is potential for it to whiff, and that's why it's not higher. Okay, that's it. Then I've got one more video left, and that is Shaman, Warrior, and Warlock. So I will see you guys for that last video. Take care.